Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Megan Farkas.
You're listening to The Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey Megan, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
We're
We're
good.
doing good. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah. So I am a licensed broker. So I have a small company called Solomon Real Estate. I'm actually licensed in Michigan and North Carolina. I primarily practice in Michigan, but I do have my license there too. So in Michigan, I focus on residential, commercial, land development, leasing. I do everything as small as a residential lease to as big as a redevelopment project where we buy the land, go through site plan approval, do this development work, build the product, then sell it. So I stick with some people through the whole process of the transaction. So
That's awesome. So
yeah.
let's back it up a little bit. So when you were younger, is this what you had planned for the future, or what was your plan?
No. So when I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher, but I kind of went back and forth about it. And, my parents kind of said, you kind of cap out as a teacher. Nothing wrong with it, but you just can't grow in that field. So unless you want to become like a PhD, and I do not like school. So I ended up kind of tossing around different ideas and knew I wanted to work with people in some way. And I like to talk, like to do sales kind of things. So somehow it brought me to thinking real estate.
That's awesome.
So when I was a freshman in college, I got my real estate license.
Oh, wow.
And my family actually, so my grandparents owned businesses, my parents owned a business, my aunts and uncles, everyone kind of owned their own business. No one really went to college. So I was in college, I got my real estate license, and I'm like, okay, why do I need to go to college now? I can just start working.
Yeah.
But my parents kind of were like, just get it done. So I took like 18 to 21 credits a semester and all year through the summers. And I graduated in 2.5 years because I just wanted to be out. So
Wow.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I get that question a lot. Like, are you even old enough to do real estate? Like,
So then you went right into it after that. Were you doing it kind of part-time when you're in college, or what was your...
So when I was in college, I had a couple transactions when I was in college, but I would say probably the last 4 years, it's really picked up and my business grew. I was at Keller Williams when I started. So, while I was in college, I took a lot of training, did a lot of training. They have the best training. I always recommend people go to Keller Williams. So I was there. Then I went to a small brokerage. And then after a couple of years, I was like, I can do this on my own. Owning a business didn't scare me. So
yeah, it kind of runs in your family. So
3 years and
Yeah.
Nice. So when you were back in school, were you doing, I know you said you're doing it part-time, were you working somewhere else too, or were you just doing school and then part-time?
Yeah, no, so I would work for either my aunt and uncle's company or my parents' company, just kind of doing like paperwork, stuff like that. Because,
okay. Yeah.
As if you didn't have enough going on.
Yeah.
So.
You're probably like, well, one transaction, I guess I paid for everything I was doing there. Right. So I guess I better find some more transactions.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So is there any kind of advice that you got like starting out that kind of helped you out kind of along the way?
Yes. So, contacts, make contracts, and relationships are so important. I watched my family grow their business all on relationships. So I know how important that is. Whether it's like your clients, your inspectors, your photographers, your mortgage lenders, even other agents, anyone you cross paths with can turn into some kind of deal. So, treat everyone equal, treat everyone with respect, and it goes a long way.
That's awesome. So let's turn around a little bit. What is the worst property you've been to?
Yeah. So when I was showing my sister-in-law houses a few years ago, we were like, we could write a book. I swear every house had a story or something funny or weird go on with it. But one of the ones that always stands out to me is it was this condo in Farmington Hills. And I swear there was like multiple families living in this condo. And we had like an early appointment, like 9 a.m. We get there and there's like air mattresses all in the living room, kids sleeping on the air mattresses. And I was just like, okay, maybe we shouldn't be here. So we kind of just like started to walk back out. And one of the ladies came out of the bedroom with like a leopard robe, a shower cap on. And she's like, well, who are you? What are you doing here? And I was like, we had an appointment, but we'll go.
Yeah.
Very awkward.
Yeah. So people were home.
Yeah, people were home.
Oh,
I was like, your agent must not have told you.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's
we
a
did
little
buy that
awkward.
Yeah, very.
What kind of goals do you have for the next year or 5 years going forward?
Yeah, so the next couple years, so as far as like setting goals, I'm very big on like set goals because, you can't reach goals if you don't set them. So,
Right.
So far every year I've doubled my business, which is
Good
a
for
great
you.
thing. So, if that's the plan for the next year, I definitely need to add on more administration or agents to help me because right now I do it all myself. I do have a couple agents that keep their license with me in case I ever need help, but they're not full-time practicing agents. So I definitely need to add either a buyer's agent, a listing agent, or administration in some way. And probably hiring a coach because everything up till now has just been me working my way through it, learning lessons, advice I've got from people, but no real coach.
Yeah.
So I've done well, but I think I definitely can improve in areas because I like to control everything. So I think a coach could really show me like, okay, let someone handle the admin stuff where you can be more effective doing something else. So,
Yeah, and that's the hard part, letting that go.
Yeah.
Giving up a little bit. Yeah.
And especially if they just like look at everything you're doing, like, oh,
Right.
you could just fix this little thing here, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, right.
That helps out so much. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. So let's say you had to start all over today, and all you had was $1,000. How would you spend that first $1,000?
Yeah. So the first $1,000, I would definitely get business cards because every person you meet, get them a card, get your name in front of everybody. I would invest in good quality signs to start because when I started out, I would buy signs online or this or that to try and, save some money. And in the end, you end up buying the expensive ones. So you wasted all that money on the cheap ones just to save a few dollars, probably cost you more in the end. And then just have like your printer, your office supplies, because even to this day, I still send handwritten notes to people. Or if I have someone that's interested in buying someone's property or someone's house, I send them a handwritten note or, go knock on their door. Those things are not expensive, but just important tools that can go a long way.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that anymore. It's all geared towards social media or over the phone instead of the in-person.
Yeah. They want to send an email or,
yeah.
Getting in front of people goes a long way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So have you read any business books that you could recommend to anybody starting out in the business?
Yeah, so I'm not really a big reader. Back when I was at Keller Williams, they had you read The Millionaire Agent from Gary Keller, or the one thing. They push that book a lot. I listen to more podcasts, so I do like The Bigger Pockets, Grant Cardone, ones like that when I'm out walking with my dog or driving. I'll put those on, but not really business books, but I just cannot stress enough. If you're a new agent, go to all the training they provide. When I was my office is filled with binders from Keller Williams of how to go through an appraisal, how to do an inspection, how to set up a CMA, how to go on a listing appointment, every script you would want to know. And they offered bold training back when I was there. And that's like a coaching program. So attend all those that they offer because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, definitely. You could always go back and look at them too, right? So
Exactly.
you keep those and you can go back at any time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, how can people get a hold of you?
So my phone number and, calling me, texting me, emailing me. I'm on social media, but that's not really my biggest thing. I don't really push that. So the best way is to just call me or text me. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Last question. So tell us about your, you said you have your license in 2 different states. How
Yeah.
did you decide to get that? Do you have family members over there or something, or what? How did you decide that?
My parents actually, they own a plumbing company in Michigan, and they're a nationwide company,
Mhm.
but they have an office in Michigan and North Carolina.
Got it.
And
Okay.
so for our employees here in Michigan, I always do some kind of credit of my commission to them, for using me and, keeping it all within the Solomon name. So I wanted to offer that same thing to the people in North Carolina at our
Nice.
office there. So I got it. My parents do some buying and selling of properties there. They have a building there. So
Good for you.
I've worked on their transactions there. So it just seemed like the next bit of out of all the other states, because you can only have your license in 2 states that I would actually use. So,
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
know that you could only have them in 2.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't
crazy.
realize that either. That's nice
Yeah,
though,
you're
because they
supposed to
can go
be like
together.
a resident to have it. So they say that you should, like, if you spend 6 months at each,
Oh,
Okay, you can only
gotcha.
have it. Yep.
can't live everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't spend 6 months everywhere. How's that
Right?
work? That's awesome. Hey, well, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Are these working? Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button, like
It might be there
might be right there too,
somewhere.
somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah, and it's
Red.
blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah. I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them to also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5
5-star
stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take
But-
4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
No, I don't think this is working.
This is not working.